Connections. I'm Marnie, your host, and joining me are some of my favorite people, my favorite organization, one that's working for us every single day on our roads and our transportation. That is CYMPO, C-Y-M-P-O. What stands for Central Yavapai Metropolitan Planning Organization, or we say the best kept secret in town. But Vinny Gallegos, who is the executive director, and Michael Lamar, who's the regional development manager, to talk about what they're doing and getting the word out and how actually the people out there listening and watching can help, because we want their opinion, right? We want to hear from them.
We absolutely do, because who knows more than the people driving the roads, walking the sidewalks, bicycling. So we absolutely want them, we want them to be engaged. And I think, like you said, Marnie, we're the best kept secret out there.
Well, let's do a little CYMPO 101.
Let's do it.
Yes.
And I'll try and give my elevator pitch in a 2-minute elevator ride if I can.
Okay.
So we're a government organization. We were established in 2003 by the governor of Arizona. Federally funded organization. I'm the executive director. I'm on a team of 7 employees for CYMPO. I answer to a board of directors of our elected officials, which compromises what's made up of our planning area. That includes the city of Prescott. Mayor Good sits on the board. Mayor Palguda represents the town of Prescott Valley. Mayor John Hughes from the town of Dewey-Humboldt. Vice Mayor Tom Armstrong from the town of Chino Valley. And our current chairperson is Supervisor Craig Brown, who's also the chair of the County Board of Supervisors and the chair of CYMPO. And our final position is a state representative called, his name is Gary Knight. He represents Arizona. So it's a policy-making board, and we look at a multimodal transportation system, Marnie. We look at the highways, the roadways, bicycle, pedestrian, public transit, and we're now even starting to talk about trails, you know. So again, this is multimodal.
Well, a lot of the trails, we're not necessarily talking about forest trails, we're talking about urban trails. That gets people moving around your community.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, people move around in all different ways, and as a regional transportation organization, we want to be able to provide leadership and support for our local municipalities. We know that the town of Prescott Valley has a lot of goals and objectives, and we want to support that. And we want to be able to bring the regional connection as a part of that conversation. Right,
right. So when we're talking about transportation, the one that always rises to the top is traffic and Highway 69. A little bit, Glassford Hill gets a lot of that from PV people. And as someone who drives it twice a day or maybe 3 times a day, I'm all very aware of all of Glassford Hill. But 69, I mean, that's the longest corridor going from, you know, all the way from I-17. But really, when it starts impacting us is Dewey to into Prescott. And so what do you hear about that? Or what is your focus on that?
We hear a lot, you know, and the numbers on that, there's around 45,000 cars a day between Prescott and Prescott Valley. So I mean, we've all experienced that congestion. So as we speak, we are doing a study of that corridor from what you said, from Prescott to Dewey-Humboldt.
You may be your Vanna White to this whole thing.
Actually, you would be great. I can do the same thing. So we have these cards here, and we want you to go to our website at cympo.org, cympo.org, /SR for State Route 69. And to your point, Marnie, we want the public's input. You know, this study is going to look at the 18-mile corridor and what improvements need to take place. Obviously, we'll get the data information. We'll look at safety. We'll look at traffic count. But the public has input to this. What is the people watching today and listening today, what is your experience on the highway?
Because they're the ones driving it.
Absolutely. And you have an opinion and input to that. So please get online, look at what we're doing, but take the study and give us your opinion.
Well, I'll have to tell you, it was very easy. I did it. After we talked the last time, I went online and I shared my thoughts, and I just drove it today from the college back to Prescott Valley, and had there from home this morning. And it was a pretty nice drive, though. I hit all the green lights, and it was a good day. But it's not always a good morning. But I did. You know, there's areas that could be, in my opinion, could be wider. Certain areas. That are traffic signals can be, refigured so that they're not as you hit more green lights. Although I do have to say, when you drive at night later, the other night, Saturday night, 10 o'clock, I hit every green light between between Marina Street and Glassford Hill.
Did you go buy a lottery ticket after
I
that?
thought I should.
That's a good day.
But I still went on and filled it out, and it was very easy to fill out and easy to find on your website. So I highly recommend, just if you're driving it, or just don't complain about it, give us your opinion. That's what I say.
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned traffic signals. A few years ago, we looked at the traffic signals on Glassford Hill Road, on Highway 69, on Willow Creek Road. So please understand, as an organization, we look at the engineering of a road, the personal experience, the technology. Again, in our area, we have around 145,000 people in the Quad Cities area and 400 square miles. On any given day, how do you move people, goods, and services around in a safe and efficient manner? And that's our role.
Yeah, yeah. So what else are you doing in respect to that?
Well, good question. So I brought this gentleman with me who's on our staff, Michael Lamar. He's our Regional Development Manager. And we got a couple things going on.
We do, but to Marnie's earlier point about active transportation and walking and biking and stuff, do you want to get into this a little bit before?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
well,
man it
you know what?
again.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start it because we're going to have to take a break. But when we come back, we are going to continue this conversation. So go ahead.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but to Michael's point, absolutely. We're doing something called ACT UP. And this is our active transportation plan, Marnie. Bryn Stotler is our project manager in the SIMPO office. And again, we want the public's input. This is focused on bicycle and pedestrian. So in the town of Prescott Valley, this isn't only the greater region, but this is in the town of Prescott Valley. What's your experience on any given day in walking around and biking around?
Sure.
Is it safe? Is it something that you can do for quality of life, for health, for recreation? Or maybe people are using it to get to work. And again, what improvements can be made? So part of this study is taking inventory on what we have and don't have, and then creating that vision for the future. Right. What makes those connections? What makes the sidewalks, the multimodal paths, those things that connect in a community? And the same thing as Michael said, we want you to go to our Instagram page and go to Central Yavapai _ ACT UP, ACTUP, or go to the website, again, cympo.org, cympo.org /ACT UP, ACTUP.
And both of those have a tab at the top that you could just go to your main page and then just click the tab and it takes you right to the survey.
There you go.
So, I did that one too.
Thank you for doing that.
Well, and I use the trails for recreation, not necessarily, biking, but I do use them for recreation. And I do like the fact that Prescott Valley has that urban trail system that you can get around, all around the town, recreation-wise. And now how do we connect it to, getting people to work in other ways? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more with SIMPO.
30 minutes over a cup of coffee. A laugh, a smile, a message. Thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, confetti emojis. Loaded nachos at halftime. It takes 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries, and a girl, you got this. It takes a queen to H5 at the park. Best 2 out of 3. A spin dash for the win. A Sunday morning gift, a bright splash of color. This is how you make an impact on a kid's life. It may sound small, but it's all they need. A word of encouragement, someone to talk to, advice. And the time it takes to enjoy a slice or two, you can make a difference. So go ahead, share a few hours a month. Share your skills, share a song, share your thoughts, share a moment. Share a dance and share it with the world. Because mentorship sounds huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
And welcome back. I'm joined by Vinny Gallegos and Michael Lamar with SIMPO, Central Yavapai Metropolitan Planning Organization, and we're talking all things transportation in the community. In the first segment, we talked a little bit about who they are and what they do and a few calls to action, but now we're going to continue the conversation of some of the projects you're working on, and again, all the exciting news you want to share, because I think, again, as we said, the best kept secret in town, and yet working so hard for all of our communities.
Well said, thank you. And that Central Yavapai title just flows right out like you're part of our staff. So thank you for being a champion of SIMPO, Marnie.
I am a champion.
And again, very grateful to be here with Michael Lamar, Regional Development Manager. Some of you recognize his face, former city manager of Prescott, but just really brings a wealth of gifts to the organization. We're so excited to have him, and it's a new position, but we brought him to talk a bit about what he's doing with public transportation with us.
That's another key, public transportation.
Yes.
How do we get people around? And for a variety of reasons, maybe they don't have cars or unable to drive a car. And trust me, I've talked to employers that have the most amazing employees, but for some reason do not have a driver's license. How do we get them to work? Because they're still supporting our community.
Well, we're trying to build off the success of Yavaline, which has been a system here for about a year and a half, here in Prescott Valley. And it's been very successful. One of the most amazing statistics to me is that 40% of the ridership is getting back and forth to work for employment purposes. So you assume that under other circumstances where the system doesn't exist, maybe they're not employed. And what does that mean from an economic development perspective to get that many people? And when I say that many, the Yavaline system had about 18,500 rides last year.
Wow.
Which I think is dramatic for a community this size.
And 41% of them were going to work.
Yeah, which, I mean, you start crunching the numbers, that's real money. And when it's real money, too, when another sizable percentage is doing retail, shopping, those types of things. And we all know that local governments here are dependent on retail sales to pay their bills. So I think that transit in Prescott Valley is a gift that's going to keep on giving.
Right.
And the nice thing is we just launched a similar intra-community service for the city of Prescott on March 4th. We had a soft opening, and we're going to have a ribbon cutting on a yet-to-be-determined date and time. We'll invite everybody to come and talk about and see what we're doing. The preliminary data we're already getting back about ridership is that the ridership is twice as much as the rollout for the same for Prescott Valley, so that's encouraging. And we are getting a lot of veterans to the VA, which I think for a lot of the people in this community is a big deal. It's a big deal to us.
Right.
We're real excited. We're also partnering with YRT, which is Yavapai Regional Transit, based out of Chino. One of the things that Vinny brought me on to kind of look at is the ability to create regional partnerships. This is a community that has a lot of potential for regional partnerships that maybe it hasn't been realized before.
Right.
And there's been ebbs and flows, starts and stops.
We know.
That was about as diplomatically as I could put it.
That was perfect.
You like that?
I like that.
But if transit is going to succeed, it needs to be under one umbrella. It doesn't have to be totally under one agency, but there needs to be connectivity, literally, and collaboration. Our friends on the other side of the mountain, Yavapai Apache, are now coming over here, running people to the VA and making multiple stops in Dewey, PV, and Prescott. There's a lot of people who have fingers in the pie. What we're trying to do is facilitate a better dialogue that makes it a regional, collaborative, connective system. What that looks like is kind of less important than everybody acknowledging we're all part of this together and demonstrating that to the community and to the elected officials.
Right. So you have it's a different name, because I see the vans running now. I see them. They're not big buses, but they're...
And that's another really good point, Marty. I think sometimes the big buses scare people off.
Right.
This is like glorified Uber that's reasonably priced. I mean, these are 9-passenger vans, door-to-door service. They'll pick you up anywhere in the region that's in the region and take you to a direct location, maybe you and a couple other passengers, for the whopping cost of $2 a trip.
Right.
Which I've heard a lot of people talk about, oh, it's just why not just do Uber? Well, the price tag is a little different than what Uber is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's interesting where I saw the vans was like on Florentine and Yavapai Road. I mean, I was traveling somewhere and doing, and I see, so they're all over.
They are all over.
Yav Connect is the new name?
Yavaline and Yav
Yavaline and
Yeah.
Yav Connect, so we've got a couple of
The
them.
official name of the service is Yavaline.
Yavaline,
But
okay.
yes, the website is Yav Connect, yavconnect.org, O-R-G. There's also an app that you can download from the App Store, Yav Connect.
Right.
There's a phone number, 1-866-928-8726. So again, if you're comfortable calling someone, you could book a ride. If you want to use an app, you could do that. You can go to the website. But $2 a ride will get you where you need to go.
Anywhere?
Anywhere in the zone.
Now, do they pick you up at home?
Yes.
They pick you up at home. So
Okay.
it's a micro-transit system. Like Michael said, maybe people have an image of a 50-passenger bus driving around the city on a fixed route system. This isn't that. It's a minivan, handicap accessible. And again, we'll meet you at your home if you're in that zone area of Prescott Valley or the city of Prescott.
We like the zones to grow in size. Right now in Prescott Valley, it's most of Prescott Valley. It's not everywhere. And in Prescott, it's basically in the downtown urban core.
Right.
The idea would be to grow out from that and include the rest of the community. And then one of the, I think, important next steps is the linkage between PV and Prescott for commuter routing, which is more of a fixed route.
Right, but how many people are making that trip, whether it's, for whatever reason they're going back and forth, and I know a lot of Prescott comes down to Coles, and then people are going up to the VA or even going up to the hospital, and trips like that, so the fixed route makes sense for those, but for right now, getting people around is on demand is perfect.
We think so. We think it's a good dipping your finger or toe into the water at this point.
Well, it's all about a quality of life, Marnie. Again, if you have a vehicle or you need to walk or bike or you need public transit, either way, it takes it all to move traffic around.
And there's so many interconnected elements of how one thing impacts another. The idea of a successful transit system certainly helps with traffic.
Right. Absolutely.
The deal of a successful transit system can help link ecotourism or trail systems. It's just a lot of unrealized potential if you start thinking of it as a regional concept.
Right. Well, and that's where you can help. Again, we just talked about it. This is the Highway 69 Corridor Study. You can go online at simpo.org and fill that out. Let your feelings and thoughts known, especially those of us that drive it so often. And then also, again, ACT UP is also on their website, simpo.org. Vinny Gallegos and Michael Lamar, thank you for joining us on Community Connections. You really are connecting community. So thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you so much,
you.
Marnie.
Thank
It's
you.
always
All
a
right.
pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. Short break. We'll be right back.
More kids like me.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Joining me now is Shannon Villalpando.
Perfect.
And also Alan Wickman, who are the co-chairs for the Alzheimer's Walk and that's your regional marketing for Alta Vista. That's why I know Shannon. And then Alan's with Synergy Home Care. Just give you a little shout out there. But we're talking about the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And as we talk about Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that, this is an event you've been doing every year for quite a few years. But this year you have have a change, and we're really excited to share in that celebration, being the Prescott Valley Chamber, with you, and holding the kickoff on April 3rd.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like, and then also what we're looking at going forward till we get to that September 28th event.
Sure. So the kickoff is on April 3rd. It's from 5 to 7 at the Chamber office. And
We are happy to host you.
And we're so excited.
we are excited. And then there's going to be a ribbon cutting at 6 as well, since we're
Right.
new members
Brand
of the
new members,
Chamber.
yes.
So we're very excited about that.
Yes, most definitely. And people can come. There's going to be light refreshments. Hear a little bit about the walk, what it entails, and they can sign up their teams
Right.
then and there too. So
Right. So it's open to the public, but just come on over and visit us. We're at 7120 East Pav Way in the Equipment Business Center, but April 3rd, come on over and just join us, because we'll be talking about sharing the Walk to End Alzheimer's and the event coming up on the 28th. But you're also looking for sponsors and people to register teams, kind of get that ball rolling to support
Right.
this event. I know that we all know people, have had family and friends that suffered from Alzheimer's and dementia, and how do we help raise awareness, but how do we raise money to put towards research and hopefully someday cures, that we can figure out what this crazy thing is.
So we're at a really good start with business sponsorships, but we're still looking for them.
Okay.
And to get any information on that, you can call the Alzheimer's Association. Their office is in the Crossings in Prescott. But also just individually for teams. Anybody that wants to start a team, not just a business, any person can start a team. You could be a team of one if you'd like.
Right.
Or get some neighbors, friends together and create a team and start getting pledges for raising money.
Yeah, well, let's share where this year's walk is, because it's new. In the past, it's been held at Yavapai College, but we are honored that the town of Prescott Valley and the campus at the Civic Center will be the host location for the walk on Scoot Boulevard.
So excited about that, because it's the Quad Cities walk, so we felt we needed to branch out and we needed to come to Prescott Valley and not have it in Prescott again this year, because we've both been involved with the walk for 6 years. Alan has chaired it for 3.
Oh my goodness. So then a co-chair now, huh?
Yeah, so pulled me in. Yeah.
Well, we know how it is. It's a lot of work to put together something like this, but it's such an important fundraiser. And I have to say that I might be a little biased, but I think our Prescott Valley Civic Center and campus is probably one of the most beautiful locations in the area, with the artwork that's around it. It has the home of the police department, the town hall offices, the Civic Center offices, and the library. So it's a very beautiful walk all the way around, well paved, well lit.
Absolutely.
And a lot of green space, which you don't always have everywhere.
Right,
You know, so.
Well, the stage, the opening ceremony, everything, we're very excited to have.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the goal for each team to raise money? I mean, there's different levels, but you raise pledges and you're going to come to there and say, we're supporting this by raising some fundraising. Family, friends, we're going out. Do you have like a minimum that you're looking for each team to raise to set their goals?
Well, normally it's $100. That way
Per person?
Well, if they can, then they get a T-shirt.
Hey, it's worth a T-shirt.
It's worth a T-shirt, right?
I always make a donation.
Every little bit counts. So
it's also tax deductible, so I remind you for your next year's tax liabilities. It's always nice to be able to say, I made these donations.
Absolutely, it is. It is. So usually $100 is usually, but most teams or individuals will raise usually. Some raise $50, and that's fine too. Every bit helps.
That's the key, is every bit helps. How do businesses get involved and be sponsors, Alan?
So there's different levels of sponsorship. I don't know exactly what all the benefits are for each of them, but for sure reaching
Supporting
out
Alzheimer's research.
That's number one.
I got you off the hook there.
Thank you. But yeah, so there's any information, you could just call the Alzheimer's Association and they can get you all the details on.
Do you have anything like on a website?
We do. So the website is alz.org/quadcities. And that's where you can register for the walk and, see all the sponsorship opportunities.
Or
create your
join
team.
another team.
Join a
Maybe there's
team.
somebody that has a team that you want to join. You can locate their team right there and just join.
We love to support our organizations as a chamber, and we've done different things in the past that we bowl, where we've done mini golf to support, and so April's always been, April, stick your head in here. She's always been our team captain, and so we said, let's do this. So we're gonna, put together a chamber team.
That's
So if you want to join
awesome.
our team, you're more than welcome to join us, because we'll be out there, and I'll be personally raising money in order to, to support our team going forward and making our contribution. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
It is a lot of
camaraderie,
fun.
and when you think of Alzheimer's dementia, it's sad, and yet when you're coming together to support an organization, it's fun. And you bring your family and friends together, and you know you're doing the right thing for a good cause.
One of the biggest things is watching all the flowers. Like you go
Yes.
walk with your flower, and there's the promise garden, and every color represents, somebody that has Alzheimer's. Then there's one white flower for the person that's holding it for the cure when that day comes. So it's this
amazing.
opening ceremony is very moving. It's just really interesting to watch all of the
And
people with their flowers.
write things on the flowers and then plant them in the garden.
that
and
sounds
it's just
beautiful.
it's gorgeous and it's very meaningful. And you see so many families that are out there just, they're struggling to try to care for their loved ones. You've got neighbors, friends, all of that. So it's a great event.
So let's bring that back around. We're talking about the fundraiser, but the goal is to support the Alzheimer's Association. It provides resources. So if you are out there and a caregiver with somebody, the Alzheimer's Association is here for you. And what's in that website is, do we have that?
So they also have the 24-hour
Right.
helpline.
Let's give that.
So that number is 800-272-3900. And then the regular Alzheimer's website is just alz.org.
alz.org.
And they have resources there too. You can put the zip code in and it'll pull up resources.
Pull it right out.
So let's all get together on September 28th, but join us on April 3rd for the kickoff to join the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us. And we'll see you on the 3rd, April 3rd.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Marty.
Thank you for joining us on Community Connections.